I have never done a storytime animation before. So that's gonna change today, I guess. Now, pain and injuries. It kinda sucks. It really does suck. No one likes it when you have a scrape on your knee or when you sprain your ankles. But then there are those injuries where they will cause an eternal scar somewhere in your body and or your soul. And you can't forget that one moment and you just want to forget the whole ordeal. Yeah, those ones suck. And I have two of those, both on my legs. Just to give you some info, my legs is a whole battlefield of scars and scratches. When I was a baby in my mom's food chamber, she used to eat a lot of peanuts, and when I came into the world, I had an allergy to mosquitoes. Now, I know what you must be thinking. Everyone's allergic to mosquito bites. Yeah, mosquito bites suck and all, but I have eczema, or whatever. So, if a mosquito bites or suck and spit their yucky stuff in my body, it'll be very itchy and affect the whole area. And I don't mean a small spot. I'm talking about a whole damaged area. It's more of a plain bomb than a mini sniper. And I will get rashes and all that crap. And might I add, I live in Malaysia, which means there are mosquito seasons where I'm literally prone to a whole mosquito army. But anyways, my legs are already a whole mess to begin with. What else can make it worse? That's right, scars. My first scar was when I was like 9 or 10. My brother and I would have this little game where we would get our hose and wet our front porch and slide all over the place. Naked, like some kind of rip-off Disney water park. And we had a caretaker to watch over us as our mom and dad were out. I mean, yeah, we had fun, splashing, playing and all that stuff until it was time to get in the house. We were still quite hyper and had adrenaline rushing through our blood. So honestly, I think we were giving the caretaker quite a hard time. She had one towel and my brother already took that one towel. So I decided to run to the back of our house to get a new towel. But before we continue, let me just hit you with some context of the layout of our house. Within our fences, our house has a drain running around it, which is quite dangerous. So to prevent anyone from falling in the drain, we had our family friend to cover the drain with wood and huge screws. Remember, these are huge ass screws. Huge. And some of them were not screwed properly, so they were a bit loose. Anyways, back to when I was running to the back of the house. The floor was extra wet as it had soap all over the place. So this floor is super slippery. And when I was running, I slipped and fell into the drain covered in wood. I tried to get up, but I couldn't. Something was tugging my right leg. I looked down to see what that was, and to my biggest surprise and horror, one of the big ass screws had pierced my leg. I can't and won't draw or show you how it looked, cause even just writing it or even thinking of drawing it is already giving me a cold sweat. But the thoughts running through my mind was, holy shit, oh no, I'm gonna die. I know I just pierced my leg, but I was like 10. Cut me some slack. My caretaker heard my screams and ran to the place where I just laid there bawling my eyes out. She was obviously mortified. Except for my brother, who was quite surprised and shed just one tear. I don't know, maybe he just didn't care about me. My sister also ran there and bawled her eyes out just looking at my leg pierced with a screw. I mean, I was weeping too, I guess. I cried for a bit. But then I kinda laughed 2 minutes after. Okay, wait. I am not a masochist, I swear. But I laugh as a coping mechanism for my pain and suffering. I is no masochist. But suddenly, out of nowhere, there were ants crawling up the screw to, I don't know, nibble my wound. Kind of disgusting just to think about it. So my caretaker had to pour water all over the screw to keep them all away. I stayed stuck on that screw for a solid 10 minutes until my dad came all the way back from work to help yank my leg out of the screw. Jeez. We called my mom and she was reasonably freaked out and told us to go to our local clinic. Why not the hospital, you ask? I don't know really. Cheap? But after a quick drive to the clinic, our friend Dr. Chia told me he would stitch it all up. But before that, he had to check the wound to be sure there were no infections as the screw was pretty rusted and I was there for a freaking 10 minutes. He put me on the inspection table and injected some kind of drug to make sure I don't feel any pain. Then he put on some gloves to check on my wound. When he drugged me, it felt as if when he was touching the wound, kind of like he was placing some cotton all over my leg. But my dad and brother had a way different look on their face. My brother told me not to look, which I did, by the way. And I'm not gonna illustrate what he did, but I'm just gonna say that he was sticking his finger in the wound and it was kinda gross. Trust me. He later told us that the screw broke a few of my tissues and was a few centimeters away from touching the bone. Well, that's nice to think about. He later gave me 4 stitches and a patch. And now I have this scar for the rest of my life. This incident was so scarring to the point whenever I see wood or screws, I would get scared and disgusted. I actually do have another scar story, but this video is getting way too long. So two-parter. I mean, if this video does well, then I'll obviously make a second one, I guess. But until then, bye and be careful, kids.